Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Millionaire by Morning podcast show. We have one of our reoccurring guests with us today, Mr. Philip Jayhawk. Man, it's been a minute, but we said we was going to catch back up. Y'all got to
I
understand,
know,
man,
man.
this is a
I
busy
know.
guy.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, man.
I had
I,
like three back-to-back business events. Two was out of state, one was in town. So finally, settled in my home state, and I'm just happy to be able to reconnect with you again as well.
all right, man. Happy to be here once again. You could be anywhere in the world, but you took time out to be here with us today. So we are
You
grateful
know
for
what it
that.
is.
Yes, sir. So tell us, man, what's been going on? Like, what have you been doing, moving around and
Yeah. Well, we at the firm we really like to network and shake hands because that's the number one thing that's really accelerated all of our growth. So that's definitely like a culture here, and we do quite well. But when we go out, right, we want to learn and earn at the same time, right? Learning from the content cover from the events and earning from the relationships that we've garnered. So, on my recent Boca Raton and South Miami trip, I'm excited to, have garnered some relationships within my luxury assets network to allow me to announce that I will be actually starting my own luxury assets division here as well, specifically focusing on assets such as luxury timepieces, handbags, exotic cars, right, and then going over to art and real estate. And it's really exciting. With luxury goods, the price of luxury goods will only go up. And the underlying reason for that is because the main substance and materials utilized in those goods are gold, silver, and stainless steel, right? Like if you look at my two-tone Rolex here, that's the bulk of the material that is, I would say, the backbone of the luxury timepiece industry. So it's a great way for you to park your money. It's you're now entering into the realm of advanced wealth transfer strategy, specifically within the luxury assets space. But yeah, man, it's super exciting because if you know what you're doing, right, these things can not only appreciate over time, they also allow you to get access into certain rooms, right, so that you can network with higher caliber individuals. So it kind of serves as a marketing write-off for your business, especially if you are someone who likes to go out to network, right? When you pull up in an exotic car and you have a certain limited edition timepiece, right? That is going to get another enthusiast's attention, and they're probably operating in some kind of a similar frequency, right? In terms of status, in terms of career, in terms of level in life, right? So yeah, man, I mean, in terms of the trips, they were mainly around, for me, luxury assets. For my business partners, taxes. As you level up in business, you're going to have more and more better problems, right? Problems don't go away, they just simply get better. So we're at the level right now, we're blessed to be dealing with, I would say, problems on a tax level for us to identify the best strategies, right, to help mitigate our taxes. And so, that's really what those events were about. For me, luxury assets, uh, for my business partners, specific strategies around taxes, as well as tax liens, right, on real estate, which obviously ties back into those tax strategies that we're exploring.
definitely? Okay, man. Sounds amazing. With this new venture, will you be opening up a network that will allow other investors to come in and kind of partner with you like you do
Yeah,
the
no, absolutely.
commodities?
Absolutely. So I already I had I would say a starter idea, in my non-accredited investors division that I started about a year and a half ago. And so this is going to basically be a revamp and a repolishing of that division. And as I went out to network, right, I already found my first sponsor. So essentially, once I can have my own deal flow and I can show 100K in profits, I'm going to have be able to bring in someone who can back it with about 500K of his own money. And then if I can do well on that 500,000, right, him and his group will come in and bring in an additional 3 to 10 million, right? So yeah, absolutely. When we level up more and more, we can then enter into the realm of creating a fund, and we can manage these luxury assets prudently, in kind of a more a structured way for all investors interested to be able to take advantage of it.
Got it. All right. So, what type of joint venture partners or affiliate partners would you be looking for? Or are you even open to that?
Well, I would say first and foremost, like my number one thing is getting my own track record up to speed, right? Being able to show that I have 100K in profits with what I'm doing with this luxury asset, which will take about at least 6 months minimum to get my foundation going. I'm super excited for it. I'm going to go through a lot of mentorship and trainings. And so this summer is going to be a huge, intense period for me to get my knowledge up and for me to follow and actually implement from the things that I'm learning. My mentor, I have a mentor who's worth about 80, 90 million specifically in Boca Raton, who's been doing this his whole life, and that's kind of his career. So I would say in terms of the joint venture stuff, once I have the 100K down, definitely people who are great at marketing, people who want to get a piece of the pie by promoting the opportunity correctly, and then of course actually getting involved in the venture as well, getting involved, in investing the right way, of course, into these timepieces and learning, the different models that allows you to actually make money.
Okay. So, when you have, I guess I'm thinking as a marketer and a person that do events, when you're looking for these type of events, do you have someone particular or business that goes out and find these, high value events for you? Or that could be a partnership or an alliance that, you have someone who plug you in with these, high value, high caliber events. So
Yeah,
how do you
no,
go about
absolutely.
that?
Well, yeah. I mean, when we're talking about creating an event, it would probably be, maybe hosting an event under my own audience, under my own network, and trying to garner additional interest. Right. The events that I'm already going to are more so private invite only because I'm part of the community, and those are because I enrolled myself into certain tiers of mentorship, right, which gives me access to certain tiers of networking. So that's kind of how I was able to get access, and from all my, I would say it's a compound effect from all the investments that I've made, not in terms of like assets, but in terms of myself, right? Like first and foremost, investing into myself with the proper education. And I mean, if you look around and if you do enough, there's plenty of good groups and good people from the internet that you can do research on that offer pretty legitimate programs, and that's basically like something that I've been doing since college, right? Since like 2017. So obviously, some programs, some communities are not as well structured as others, but once you find the good ones, I would say like I am a walking compilation of programs, man. I mean, I've been heavily investing into myself. Probably at this point, like over 100K, definitely over 100K. And I certainly, was have at least, I would say, invested in my like at least 6 to 8 programs even before I met my current business partner, right? So yeah, I mean, I believe in programs. I believe in educating yourself, investing in yourself, investing into skill sets, investing into knowledge, and especially programs that have robust community aspects. Like that's the key thing, right? And then that allows you to shake hands and go out because they usually have masterminds, they usually have events for you to participate in, and that's kind of what's allowed me to level up my lifestyle.
Right. Got it. So you have seen people that came into even your masterminds came into your community. Can you speak on success and just one person that you can remember off top that was successful in your
Yeah.
program? Can you paint us that picture?
Great question. I mean, there's definitely Charles. He's a fellow business owner. He's on my podcast. My episode maybe 80, 85. And he's a fellow business owner who took 76K to 900K in 5 weeks. And by week number 6, that account hit 1.212 million. And so when you're someone that invests into yourself, and you decide to do our program, naturally, we're going to build a relationship, and that's going to open up doors for you to be part of our community, right? And so that's kind of what he did. And yeah, he's on a phone call and text basis with my business partner, who's the owner of the firm, and it's great. We're going to be doing a lot of great things. We have a lot behind the scenes that we're planning on. So that's certainly one example. Obviously, we have a lot of white collar professionals, specifically doctors as well, who's part of our primary demographic. And so yeah, during my trip out to South Miami, I do have some doctor clients that live out there, and I was able to meet up with some of them to where it's a vice versa benefit, right? Like if I ever needed something, I could also kind of get some medical advice from them as well. So it's great, it's great. That's why I love being able to travel, shake hands, and also enhance those client and business relationships. I'm about to go to Beverly Hills for I have like 4 events coming up here in April and May, and I'm really excited for the Beverly Hills one, because it's going to be a mix of business and personal. I'll be actually be able to meet my CMO out there, and then we're going to be attending a business seminar that covers a lot of great things on marketing, and then obviously I have some contacts out there as well, so I'll be having some dates and who are also from business, right, who are in business too. So it'll be a great blend of both. That's why I love the saying, it's not about life and work balance, it's about harmony. It's about that lifestyle harmony, so that everything's integrated and you don't feel like you have to sacrifice so much.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of that lately. Integrate your life and work, and that's really where freedom comes in at, especially if you like what you do.
Work life harmony over work life balance.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Well, hey man, I have to ask you this. With everything that's going on, to someone that's listening, for everything that's going on with seem like the market is being manipulated with the wars and the announcements and everything that's coming every other day,
Sure.
weekend. So what do you have to say to someone who has some doubt right now in stocks and trading
Man,
futures?
listen, I would say, like, the number one thing that I tell everyone, and that's why I love living in Kansas, is I don't pay attention to any of that. I pay attention to me. I pay attention to my purpose, and I pay attention to my trajectory and where am I at within that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you have those things, first and foremost, like understand, if you have those things, everything becomes a lot easier for you to not get distracted into. Because when you're so committed into a path, I don't want to use the word like tunnel vision, but you're just focused. Like, I know that I'm a future NBA team owner, and that is the route that I'm headed toward. So I really don't care about what's happening with the war. Like, people have been asking me, like, oh, I think the flight prices have gone up because of these global events. And I'm like, cool. I really could care less. I mean, I know that we lost to St. John's by a game winner this past weekend in the NCAA tournament. And I know that Florida suffered the same fate against Iowa. Crazy, right? They've been doing well. They're the defending champs, number 1 seed this year as well. But that's basketball for you. But what I'm saying is, like, because I know my purpose so well, because I have worked so hard to have proper self-awareness, what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, and I know what my trajectory is, I know when I wake up, like, what I got to work on every single day, right? It's a rotation between business, basketball, and my personal relationships, right? And romance and family. So the idea is, and sometimes, when there's certain, I would say, periods in life that you just gotta turn up the engine and you gotta go super hard, then one side kind of suffers and one side benefits more. Like, a great saying is, you either have sacrifices or you have desires. You either have sacrifices or you have desires. So if you have more desires, you got to sacrifice more, right? Because if you don't have those desires, you don't have to sacrifice as much. You can live a more simple life. But yeah, I mean, to all the people maybe thinking, oh, what's going on with the war, with the world, and I'm going to be blunt here. The reason why you're able to think that is because you probably are not as in tune with your purpose and your trajectory. Because, dude, I'm thinking about how I'm, where am I at in terms of becoming an NBA team owner every single day. You know what I mean? So that's what's the most important to me. And I hope like if you can take anything away from this, is for you to find that for yourself, so that you can be so focused that you won't be distracted by any of the things happening around.
Word up. So if the people that didn't see your first interview that we first did, they would have to go back to understand your love for basketball. So we're not necessarily going to get deep into that, but if anyone listening, go back and he'll tell you why his nickname is Jayhawk. So you
That's
can
right. Well, it's more like a self-appointed middle name, you know.
self-appointed middle
Is
name.
where that comes from. Yeah, yeah. But look, I also had a great conversation with a high performance coach. You know, you talk about networking and the community. And one of the things I've learned, right, we talk about programs and investing in yourself, is so you have a person investing into a program and then you see success, right? And then you have a person investing into the same program and you do not see success. So what is the common variable here, right? If you remove the program, what you see is you have the person equaling success and you have the person not equaling success. And so what I'm saying here is it's really important to recognize like programs, right? At the end of the day, don't determine if you're going to make it. If you think you're going to sign up for something and just because you have proximity, right, it will help increase your odds of success, no doubt, but it doesn't guarantee it. You know, like in business, they say you are who you hang around. If you hang around 5 millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires, you'll most likely be the next one, right? And it's the same concept that I took with basketball. If I can hang around 5 NBA Hall of Famers, right? My game, which where I've never really got much guidance, 90% of what you see on the court is self-taught. My game should elevate, right? Because I have that proximity. But that doesn't guarantee my growth. Like I still got to put the work in, right? Like I still got to be humble enough to listen to them, to ask questions, take what they give me and work on it and iterate that, right? So what I'm saying is like, are you a winner? Do you have yourself figured out? Do you have your habits dialed in? Do you have your mindset dialed in? Like just the foundation of entrepreneurship itself, right? Habits and mindset. Because when you do something long enough, habits becomes instincts and you don't even think about it. You just do it, you know? So I really want to like urge you, for those listening, to get that dialed in. And like, no matter how great of a program you enroll yourself into, just like university, you could go to Stanford, you can go to Harvard, but if you don't maximize the campus, you don't maximize the resources, and put it bluntly, you're still a loser, right? Nothing's going to help change that trajectory. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I will always stand by, like, first and foremost, knowing yourself, and so that you know what your strengths and weaknesses are, so then you can invest in yourself, and better yet, know what your purpose is, know where you want to go, because then you can really fill in the gaps. You know, of like, what else do you need, like in terms of like an armor to put on, so that you can essentially become stronger and be able to withstand better battles, right? Better obstacles as you level up in life.
Right. Most definitely. And with that being said, can you speak on your program, Lightspeed?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's let them know about that.
No, listen, I mean, so I'm blessed to run a private investment firm, right? And our main bread and butter is investing into the futures and commodity financial markets. So our whole thing is, right, if you want to see how we approach the markets, because we're doers who happens to educate. We're doers who are passionate about educating, right? So unlike fellow fund managers who are super gung ho about blowing up their AUM and fund numbers only, right? We want to empower regular people so they can learn a high income skill set, and they can actually utilize that high income skill set as a supplemental income, full-time income, or full-blown career, right? And so for 30 minutes in the mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays, how we differentiate ourselves from everyone else is the fact that we actually go live, we prove what we teach, and we make the money in front of you. And our whole thing is, in half an hour, if you do not see us make a minimum of 50K or more, you can feel free to never talk to us again. On average, we do between 200 to 300K. And the reason why we can showcase that is because we have developed the ability to be 90% accurate within these markets, right? Similar to doing surgery on a patient. This is not the OR room, right? It's just doing surgery on these financial markets, futures and commodities specifically. And of course, as we're growing, we have more offerings coming out. And one of which I'm super excited about is for people who may not have the liquidity and financial capability. What we do is we can funnel you over to get some help from my fellow CIO. Okay, he's my team member who we've helped retire at the age of 26 from a six-figure engineering job last summer. And a huge reason for that is because of his skill sets around financial prudence, right? Credit repair, business funding, as well as trading, right? So you have to have a strong component in terms of strengths and weaknesses and skill sets, right? In terms of offense, defense, and the proper resources. And then for those who may be more accredited investors, as I open up the luxury assets division, that's certainly something for us to talk about. But the main thing definitely is learning how to invest in the futures and commodity financial markets the right way. And if you're interested, feel free to hit me on LinkedIn, send me a message, Philip Jayhawk Chan, and we can talk more.
There you go. There you go, man. Hey, I'm excited about what you have going on, man. I continue to invite you on the show and kind of keep up with you and have my listeners and followers to kind of keep in touch with you because you're doing something amazing right here. And you're
I
always
really
welcome
appreciate
on the
that,
show.
man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, man. And I'm always traveling a lot. I have, like I said, 4 more trips coming up. I'll be on the West Coast in April for 2 of them, Beverly Hills and Arizona, and then I'll be back out on the East Coast and the Midwest, in May. So yeah, man, I'm happy to touch base with you, share with you some of the things that I've picked up and learned along the way as I do these travels. Hopefully that helps not only you but your listeners. Because every time I go out there, I don't even grow anymore, man. Like I used to say, grow incrementally, then growing exponentially. But what it is now I just evolve. So every time I fly out, especially when you compress so much trips, I fly out, because of the experiences, the people that I meet, the conversations that I'm able to have. I'm blessed to say that now I'm on a trajectory where I'm just like evolving all the time.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like next time you talk to me, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna have some real wings on me.
That's what's up, man. I can't wait for the private plane. Come down to Dallas, Texas.
That's
hey,
right.
man.
You already know what it is, man.
Yes, sir. It's been a great conversation, man. What do you think? What is your final stat for the March Madness?
Oh my God. I mean, from a very unbiased and objective standpoint, I think Arizona definitely has a good chance. They're looking really good this year. Number 1 seed. Even though we beat them at home, it was obviously at Allen Fieldhouse, but they have a great thing going on. Duke's looking good too. I'm really surprised that Florida dropped off. In terms of the number 2 seeds, I'm definitely really proud of our Big 12 conference. I think Houston and Iowa State, are the two seeds that are really strong as well. UConn's there. I know St. John's actually beat them twice, and St. John's is about to play Duke. So that would be very interesting. But I would say like Arizona, if I had to pick one and one final one, and one only one, it would be that. It would be Arizona.
Okay, y'all heard it here first, folks. All right, man. Yeah, I'm gonna say bye. I know you're a very busy man. And to the crowd out there, I just want you guys to listen to the man, and we're going to continue to have him on and learn about commodities. And, a lot of the time, we don't even go in that direction. I know a lot of people that are on the internet are talking about something totally different when it comes to stocks and investment. This is another. Continue doing what you do. Know the motto: make moves, make money, make meaningful memories. We'll holler at you. Until next time.
Thank you, DJ Millionaire.
All right,
See you
man.
next time.